All right, with Christmas being right around the corner, we decided to do a dessert wine video today. So there are really two main types of dessert wine, one being ice wine, which we all know, and the other being a noble rot or botrytis infected dessert wine. So the difference between these two, the method is essentially the same, except one is done in a cold climate and one is done in a warmer climate. So basically how ice wine becomes sweet is that the grapes essentially become encased in ice, which makes the grapes shrivel and it concentrates the sugar and the flavors all into the grape, and then the grapes are pressed. So that's what makes the increased concentration of sugar. On the botrytis side, there's this rot, essentially. It sounds gross, but it's not, I swear. It essentially infects the grapes and makes them shrivel just like the ice does in ice wine, and has the same effect. So the grapes shrivel, it concentrates the flavors, it concentrates the sugars, and creates a resulting sweet wine. So that's the two main types. So when you are looking to purchase some ice wine or dessert wine for maybe Christmas to have with desserts, keep in mind that you always want your dessert wine to be sweeter than the food. So whatever you're eating, maybe sugar cookies go absolutely great with ice wine. Just make sure that the ice wine tastes sweeter than the dessert. So for ice wine specifically, there's some really great ice wines on the market. We have some of the best here in Ontario. Henry of Pelham is one. Trius Cab Franc ice wine is very good. Very good if you're eating something maybe with berries, blackberries, maybe blueberry pie, something like that. That's what you want to drink for sure with something like that. Whereas maybe your apple pies, as I said, sugar, butter cookies, shortbreads, lemon cake, anything like that is going to go really well with your ice wines. So definitely get out and try some local ice wine. And then for the dessert wine, so Sauternes, of course, is something that's delicious, and you don't have to go and spend a whole bunch of money on Chateau d'Yquem. There's some really great Sauternes out there that are reasonably priced, a little bit more expensive, of course, than ice wine or any kind of other dessert wines. There's also a really good wine. It's from Australia. It's actually a Botrytis Semillon. I think it says it right on the label, Botrytis Semillon. It's called De Bertoli, and it is readily available. I see it in the LCBO all the time. It's very good, tastes very, very similar to Sauternes, and I think it's about $25 to $30 for a 375. Also keep in mind when you are buying dessert wine, if you're worried about, because it is a little more pricey, if you are worried about not drinking it, it will stay in your fridge. You can open it and keep it in your fridge for weeks. I've drank a Sauternes, 3 weeks after it had been opened with only a little bit in the bottle. The sweeter the wine, the longer it will last. So things that kind of preserve wine are sugar, tannin, acid, things like that. So the sugar and the acid are definitely there for dessert wine. So you can keep it for a long time. You can drink it all the way through the holiday season, and it's a nice treat. So some other examples or some other options for dessert wines. Vinsanto is a great one from Tuscany in Chianti. I would say this is more of a nerdy wine, as I like to call it. So it is a little bit rustic. It has a little more complexity from kind of some oak aging. It's not as kind of bright and fruity and acidic as your ice wine, but a great option. You can also go, of course, with your ports and fortified wines as kind of your sweeter options. But, ice wine and dessert wine is also a great option. So I hope you enjoy your holiday season, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone.